Saurav, the World Cup is going to Chennai in 2023 this year. How much looking forward to it, first of all?
I think firstly it's a great thing that we have a world championship, so to say, back home in India. I'm sure everyone associated with the game is going to be super excited watching some of the best players in the world fighting it out for the title for the World Cup. It's obviously a new format for this event, which is going to add a little bit more excitement. Personally, for me, I think it's great to be playing back home. We don't get to play as much as what we would like to back in India. So to be able to play in front of the home crowd and do well for India is something that we really look forward to, and hopefully we will have a very, very good tournament in Chennai.
And that's where you played your junior career. Just talk us through sort of you coming through, getting into squash, and sort of how you've become a pro player from there.
So I started when I was 8 years old in Calcutta, which is where I was born and my hometown. I moved to Chennai when I was 15 to the National Academy at the time, and my junior career kind of took off once I moved to Chennai, because that's when I actually started training for this game. I think the 4 years that I spent in Chennai from like 15 to 18 and a half kind of thing definitely shaped the successes that I had at the junior level. Moving on from there, obviously I went to university in Leeds in England and trained with Malcolm Wilstrop for a considerable period of time, and he's the one who kind of made me the professional player that I am, and kind of encouraged me to pursue the sport professionally, and I'm indebted to a lot of the stuff that he's taught me. But yeah, I think if Chennai hadn't happened, if my junior career hadn't gone the way it had, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today, playing on the PSA World Tour for almost 20 years now, and representing India for longer than that. So I'm very, very grateful to have been given that opportunity at that point in time, for the National Academy at the time to have come up, because before there was nothing really in terms of a structured training base in India, and for me to have the opportunity to go to a place where I knew that everything was going to be taken care of in terms of my training was a huge blessing, and I don't think I would be able to achieve what I've achieved if I hadn't had that at the beginning of my career in the juniors.
Just talk about how big squash is in India, and what is the support like for you in terms of for yourselves and your teammates for Indian squash?
I think it's exponentially grown over the last decade or 15 years. There's a saying, success breeds success. So I think this generation, in fact, has done very well for Indian squash. It is undoubtedly the golden generation. We have achieved a lot on the world stage, at the Commonwealth Games, at the Asian Games, which are the big marquee, multi-sport events for squash and for India. And I think that has definitely propelled the popularity of the game in the country. Of course, we are still not in the kind of the upper echelon of sports which cricket kind of like monopolizes in the country. But I do think that we have a lot more people, interested in the game. I think the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham in 22 was a big flexion point. I think it's for the first time that pretty much every single match for the Indians was telecast live on TV, which made a huge difference, where common people who probably never seen the sport in their lives actually watched the sport and realized how brilliant a sport it is, and obviously with us doing decently well, that kind of helped the popularity grow even further. So I'm pretty sure that the World Cup coming around in June in Chennai is going to boost that growth further. Chennai anyways has a big kind of like squash loving population, so I'm sure they're going to come out to support us and spur us on to win some big matches for the country.
How much do those recent successes heighten the expectations, particularly with the World Cup being on home soil as well for you?
I mean, look, every time you enter a tournament, everyone wants you to win it. So I don't think that changes. I think the pressure is a privilege. It is a precedent that we've set in terms of performances that we've produced. And that kind of should give us players the confidence that we are capable of producing at the highest level. And I think as a team, we have good depth, both in the boys and the girls. And I'm sure that, if we can put things right together and just execute the way we are capable of, we stand a good chance of doing really well.
And for yourself, you're quite an experienced player now. I mean, what will your role be like as a bit of a mentor for some of your teammates at the World Cup?
Look, I think everyone who's going to be part of this team, we don't know what the team is yet, but whoever does make it, is making it on their own merit. They've produced performances which warrant them being in the team. I think they can all take care of themselves. But of course, I think Joshna and myself will be the ones who will so-called be the seniors on the team, and it is our responsibility to kind of guide the team when required. But I think more importantly, we need to focus on our games and show that on court and lead the team in terms of results. And once we do that, I think everyone flows well with it.
And just finally, what does the future of squash in India look like going forward?
I think we have a lot of good players in the juniors, but of course, I keep putting this word of caution in. There is a big bridge between the juniors and going into the professional ranks. There's a lot of work involved, a lot of perseverance involved. I think that we have the talent and the potential to kind of take it to the next level. We need proper guidance for these kids and showing them the right way. And once that is done, then I think the future looks bright. I think Indian squash has come a long way since when I started in like 1995. We pretty much didn't even know what the PSA World Tour meant at that point in time. And where we are now is a far cry from where we were then, and we've headed in the right direction. We've become definitely competitive on the world stage. I think the next step is to try and make sure that we start competing and dominating on the world stage and winning big things. And of course, this generation still has a few more years to go, and we're going to do everything we can to kind of raise that bar and push that envelope as far as we can, and then hopefully pass the baton on to the next generation to carry that torch forward.